If I wrote you a love letter, would you write back?
Welcome back, episode 103 of Revisited. Like I said, Sauce is going to get lost in it.
We're already done.
Yeah. Phil was, 103. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done anything. Part 5. It's been a while since we've done anything. Giorno. Let's do something part 5. Let's do something Giorno. We are talking about a love letter to Giorno. Why he's my favorite character by...
Green something podcast.
Save the Green podcast. Never heard of them. Nothing against them. I wonder if the mood has turned a little bit on Gio. Or is it just that because the newest part came out, people are just not talking about part 5 nearly as much. And it's more so just whatever's the newest, hypest thing, let's just all gravitate towards that. Let's all talk about that. But I really don't hear anything about part 5 anymore. I really don't hear anything about Gio anymore. Even this video is 3 years old?
3 years, yes.
Yeah. Like,
it's off to the new shiny. That's all it ever is.
I mean, I understand the new shiny, but at the same time, if you've got such a prolific love for a character to the point where you will expound, wax poetic through a series of videos. I mean, this is called a love letter to him. You would think we would see more of it. Like, I still see a bunch of stuff about Tanjiro.
I'll say this. I'm not looking for it.
You're the man that should be looking for it.
I should. But we have so many part 5 videos already, so...
And yet, not nearly enough.
Just a quick glance. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any... There's a couple of, versus battle stuff. Like, who would win? Giorno versus, Jolene.
Cool.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. But, yeah, I don't think that tides have turned. I think that it's simply just like, yes, he's amazing. He's over there. And we're just going to keep it rocking. Like, you don't really see people talking about Attack on Titan too much anymore.
Sure.
But then again, that could be flavored by that ending.
Yeah. Which is the big oof, which ties have turned.
Oh, I can't. Oh, the disappointment once the anime comes. Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, are you sure you want any more discourse with these types of fans? After your latest Twitter venture?
Man.
Dude, I was going through it. It's that sick have a good day. That was great. Are you just gonna ignore he's a fighter and was trained by a god? Yes. Sick. Have a great day.
What? I'm just like, I don't want any more part of this anymore. So I'm just done. We're just...
If we could just wholesale ignore whatever we want, then I can make anything sound good or bad.
Yajirobe's on the battlefield, but Goku's fine with that, okay? He was once as strong as Goku, trained by gods, there to fight, there to help, can leave of his own volition. Yeah, no, he wasn't there to help. So you're just gonna ignore all that other stuff. Yes! What do you do to that?
And these are the type of people we don't want to debate. We don't want to talk to. People always say, will you debate? We'll debate anybody, but just know, we will not have a good time in the debate if they are like this. If they are like Catalyst
Man is rough.
Dude, I can't believe. So for anybody that doesn't know, a long time ago, we debated at the time, the Captain Canteen. Now he's just Captain Canteen. Over Demon Slayer, because he did a video in response to Just Stop's video about Demon Slayer. And then we did a Revisited on his video. So he was like, all right, let's talk about it. And it is almost 4 hours of us just discussing Demon Slayer. And it is possibly the worst debate we have ever done on this channel.
Triggered.
That's why I said possibly.
No, there is no possible.
Which triggered, though? Are we talking about the third one or the second one?
Second.
I recently re-listened to the second one, and I am going to cut that up and put it on the members channel too. That one I care so much less about making it available publicly because you can go watch it now. It's not hidden or anything. It's just a quick clip just for that. But yeah, that was really, really bad. Well, I was listening to him, and when he was just like, "Are you one of those people that need me to show you what I'm saying?" And it's like, okay, so we should just accept that you can say whatever you want.
Literally said you're coming off the dome with this. Neither of us remember this fully. Establish. Prove what you're saying.
He did admit that a hallucination thing was wrong, by the way.
What?
Yeah. It was in a clip of the stream he deleted last night.
Unbelievable.
Dude, this is what pissed me off about that. So he said, the community was torn apart by my hallucinations thing.
No, it wasn't. They called you stupid.
Some people were defending him.
I have not seen anybody defend him.
There was somebody that was like, Trigger's just speaking his truth.
That's defending him, not the hallucinations.
Oh, no, there was somebody, because I remember I was in the chat during one of his defenses of it.
Probably die.
It wasn't even die. It was somebody else. There was somebody that was just like, since we haven't seen anything that disproves what Trigger is saying, then the possibility, and that's all Trigger's talking about, the possibility that this is a thing. And I can accept that. No, you can't.
Hey, prove that there was somebody. Oh, you can't.
I can't. You know what?
Didn't happen.
Those videos might still be up, but unlisted.
I think they're gone.
There's somebody that has a playlist with like 25 of his streams, and they're mostly just his unlisted streams. So maybe it still exists, maybe it's gone. I have no idea. Anyway, but going back to what I was saying beforehand. So he has said that he was wrong about it, but that us and Just Stop had made such a big deal out of it when it really wasn't that serious. And of course he did his triggered chuckle while he's saying, "Hey, it's not that serious." And my thing is, you sat there and yelled at people, yelled at us about it,
yes,
defended it 3 separate times. Mm-hmm. Yes. If it's not that serious, let it go.
It's just whatever he needs to be right at this moment. So he's just going to say it.
I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that just from the past stream of, I'm not going to watch the ReZero video because it's going to be, it's simp and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, this must be thirsty. I can't tell you how many times I replayed that. It's so comedic, dude.
It's the timing.
And people might say things like, "Oh, y'all planned that, y'all had it ready." Dude, it was no way. Truly random. So this video, we got a description?
I had it and it's gone.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I was doing something else. My rambling explanation on why Giorno is not only my favorite JoJo character, but my pick for the best character in fiction.
That is an assertion. What are we doing?
Spoilers. Yeah, nothing else.
Okay.
In all of
the entirety
fiction,
of fiction.
Entirety of fiction.
I'm talking about the 1600s till now. There has never been a character greater than Giorno Giovanna.
Yeah, since this was 3 years ago, I wonder if it stands, because as you watch and read more, as you in the anime sphere, as you watch and read more, your horizons get broadened. We thought Dragon Ball was the greatest ever. Then it was like, this kind of sucks. And we thought that Naruto was the greatest ever. Then it's like, it just kind of sucks. And then you just hop over from stuff to stuff, and you just go, no. It's kind of like, this is anime, so it's good. I remember just watching a bunch of random anime and just going, it's anime.
Yeah, I remember the Sci-Fi Channel had a random anime, and I was just like, I'll just watch it simply because it's anime.
I think there were 2 seasons of Shakugan no Shana at the time. And I'm just like, anime! Looking back, I'm just like, that sucked. Shakugan no Shana ain't good.
I think you did like 2 AMVs to it, too.
I definitely did 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a whole slews of whatever anime that I watched where I'm just like, in my
mid to late 2000s, where you're just like, this is great. And then I mean, I'm sure I can look up a list and just go, I don't even remember watching this thing.
I looked at my old anime list and I'm just like, the f is this? I guess I gave it an 8.
It's just like when you were like, hey, BG, you watched Snowman and reviewed it on the podcast, and I'm just like, I don't remember doing that. And it's just like that. Yeah. So as you said, when you broaden your horizons, eventually your tastes are going to change the more you consume. Some things are going to stay roughly the same. Yeah. Some things are just going to be enhanced by your love of it. But things change drastically.
Or they should.
They should.
Because
if
you still got those
to
Dragon Ball people who are slurping.
But how many... I don't know if they're anime fans or quote-unquote anime fans. Where they'll watch... It's essentially the gamers... what were they called? Bro gamers or something like that. Where they play Call of Duty, Gears of War, NBA 2K, and Madden. And that's basically their year of gaming. I wonder if it's like that for the anime quote-unquote
hype
fan.
People, Attack on Titan,
Demon Slayer, the biggest, hypest, newest battle shonen, battle anime.
No way to tell.
I mean,
hopefully not. Is all I can say.
Even when I'm on social media and I'll see people that liked Dragon Ball, all I see them talking about is Demon Slayer. Yo, this previous episode was so good. I don't see them talking about like Higurashi. I don't see them talking about like not even Spy Family really. Like, what are we doing? It's just the biggest.
I have no experience with these people outside of those 3 dumb people that I messed with on Twitter, and then they were just dumb and all cucked away. All of them.
I mean, what can you do but cuck away?
Literally. Hey, here's Goku caring about death. Here is Goku not caring about death. And then here is Goku caring about death. And then here is Goku not caring about death.
It's almost like whatever it needs to be in the story.
Make it make sense.
But no.
It can't all just be, oh no, people are dying. Whatever.
Dragon Ball.
Oh no, random people are dying. And then Bulma goes, my mom and dad are gonna die. And he's just like, nah, we could just wish them back. You've known these people since you were young. And yet, Boo is just eating people. And you're like, Arr! It's like, that don't make no sense. No, but you see, no, shut the fuck. Just
have fun with it.
Yeah, just have fun with a kid watching his mom get murdered. You just have fun with it. That's the death that we're supposed to care about. But Bulma caring about her parents, we don't care about that.
Why would we?
Why would we?
Let's get into the actual video.
People are going to be complaining about the
intro.
13-minute preamble. Shut up. Corey in particular.
They're going to complain about y'all are doing part 5 in Geo. I hate these videos. Y'all are doing Hunter x Hunter. I hate these videos.
Keep it rocking.
Keep it moving.
We'll come back next week.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. Giorno Giovanna is my favorite fictional character, and there is not a drop of irony in this video's title.
Pause. That is crazy.
I can see it could be somebody's favorite. I mean, your taste can align enough. And he's about to explain it at the very least.
I can't think of my favorite in all of fiction.
No.
That is so...
I'd have a hard time doing a top 10 in all of fiction. I have consumed so much fiction. Like, do I put Chucky in my top 10 of all fictional characters? I love Chucky.
But it must have resonated with him so much that he's just like, oh no, that's number 1, and we can figure out not 2 through 9, but that's clearly number 1.
I'm releasing this right before Part 5's epilogue and expect spoilers for everything prior to this point. I'll make a few vague references to Part 6, but am mostly sticking with what's been animated. No major spoilers beyond Vento Arreo. Other than Jotaro, every JoJo was my favorite during their respective part.
Holy crap!
Complete flip-flopper.
Yeah, this is I understand it's easy to like a main character because they get a lot of focus and things like that. But every JoJo was your favorite character? Really? It'd be like that?
Yeah, I can't say the same, honestly.
Man, it's 1 in 4. 1, 4, 6, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably about right. No, because I like Aaron. I liked her a lot.
Over and over I told myself, this is the protagonist who is simply too great to ever lose that title, only to see Araki top himself. But Giorno was something.
I would like to see what he values in a character. What made them, because they're 4 different characters.
Vastly different characters.
I would like to know.
And Jotaro wasn't good enough of a character to be his favorite in that part. So what was it about?
No, he said the JoJos of each part.
Except Jotaro.
Did he say it? Except Jotaro?
You need me to go back?
Now
that I can go back.
Oh, snap. The future.
Spoilers beyond Vento Arreo. Other than Jotaro.
Okay. Yeah. But why not Jotaro? I would like that answered. What's Jotaro not have that the others do have?
Giorno was something special, and I do not see him going anywhere. The question of what would happen if Dio used Jonathan's body to have sex is something.
No way he's going by the dichotomy. Okay, first off, we're just gonna
I hate it.
we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
I hate it so much.
It's I guess we're getting into it. It's literally one of the worst arguments I have ever heard, because they're putting definable personality traits into genetics.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
How does it make sense that he's part Dio when it's just Dio's head?
Two smart people can raise a dummy. 2 dumb people can have a genius.
It don't make no sense. What does it mean for 2 people's genes to mix? It's Jonathan's body, so that's his sperm. What? It makes no sense, and people just accept. Yep, it's just the mixture of the 2, because that's your parents influence your personality. Never mind the mom. It's all about these 2. Are we anything like our parents?
No, I don't.
Well, you're argumentative, but I'm not. I am to a certain degree,
but
I back down. I did
yeah. I don't think I have many traits from Dad. I don't think I have many traits from Boo. I really don't even think I have many traits from Mama. I have lessons they instilled, but beyond that,
I despise this. Let characters.
You're more like grandfather than Mama.
Yeah.
Would ask yourself drunk on a.
Why don't people do that with Josuke? You don't hear the comparisons of him and Jonathan. I mean, Joseph like that.
Nope.
He's his own character.
Because he can be his own character. He's strong, and he's a strong enough character to not need that. Gio is not, but he needs that.
What does this say about the anime wins of the world with part 6? And
you answered your own question.
The question of what would happen if Dio used Jonathan's body to have sex is something you would ask yourself drunk on a Thursday morning.
No, it wouldn't.
And he fathered several children, and they are not like the mixture of Jonathan and Dio. So, what now?
So why is it just him?
Why is this only attributable to Gio?
But not only did Araki take the question dead seriously, he hammered it into pure gold. I love that Giorno literally has 2 fathers and inherited traits from both bloodlines.
He does it. he literally does it.
Hey, can we get out of here now? We got the video.
This is false.
There is no new information here. We have done this video before.
I would like to ask somebody like him, how does Dio's genetics pass to a Giorno?
Like, did did Dio's body overtake Jonathan's? And if that's the case, it's no longer Jonathan's body.
Yes. It's no longer his traits, it's Dio's. And if it did, how did it? Because there's, what? He has a finite amount of blood. You're not coursing all of your blood through the body. How did it happen for this to happen? Don't just accept it. Don't just be like, yeah, you just stuck a head on that torso, and now he's two muffins. No, that's not how it works.
It's like a G.I. Joe doll and a Barbie. Just like, you're now a Barbie Joe.
This is Mr. Potato Head. This is Sid from Toy Story. Making in trucks with legs, like, vroom, vroom.
Abominations and just like the thematic.
Like, well, these are now two totally separate things that can pass on their traits. What?
It's got a hook and it got wheel. What's the problem?
I love that the first JoJo to be a consummate twink is also a ruthless gangster. I love the simplicity of his backstory and how the turning point was just learning to trust people. I love that he hangs out with Koichi and fights a stand called Black Sabbath.
That means nothing.
Yeah.
Dude. You're literally just going, I love, I love, I love. Explain why you love.
The simplicity of his backstory.
It's not even the better backstory that's shown.
I don't understand. Is it just the simplicity that makes it good? Because what's Jotaro's backstory?
But then he would praise it.
He was not a douche, and he was.
He would praise it for complexity if it was complex. The layers of his backstory that you have to unravel, like.
And I love that his hair is both stupid and the coolest thing I've ever seen. Don't worry, this video isn't just a bunch of sentences, but there is just so much to like about Giorno.
It literally is.
Let's start with his design. The hair, the ladybugs, and the heart are all elements that could be cringy on their own, but they combine into something which emphasizes his separation from the other Joestars while still matching the larger aesthetic. And while I have to concede that Josuke's anime depiction is objectively the best one, Giorno's look is exactly what it needs to be. Even looking badass and...
You go the separation, but Josuke has hearts.
No, that's what he's saying. Separations while still having traits from them.
So what's the separation?
The hair.
You can't be different yet the same.
Yes, you can. Shonen.
He has a big heart on his outfit, just like Josuke, and he has ornaments, just like Josuke, and he has weird hair, just like Josuke.
Yeah. What's your point? But also Joseph and Jotaro and Jonathan, though. Them two, though.
What?
pink and green. A choice I did not believe in at all until seeing the first episode. Gold Experience's look is more of a mixed bag.
Go back. He said pink and green?
Yeah.
What
green? Probably the best one. Giorno's look is exactly what it needs to be. Even looking badass in pink and green. A choice I did not believe in.
Green.
His eyes are green.
That's blue.
Blue equals green in Japanese.
Is that...
Yeah, I don't know.
How about I just made a mistake? Is that even pink? I'd say that's like a light, not even a light purple, like a pinkish purple or purplish pink.
I would link closer to purple.
At all until seeing the first episode. Gold Experience's look is more of a mixed bag. I like the sleek design and references the Dio, but could live without the bicycle helmet or giant perforated codpiece. I get that Araki couldn't pull the usual trick of tweaking Star Platinum, but sitting between Crazy Diamond and Stone Free, it just doesn't hold up. And even inside...
But what's the references to Dio?
I'm sure there's a blog post somewhere that's...
I'd like to hear it from him, since this is his favorite.
Yeah, but I've only got 17 minutes to explain it, and that's not enough time. And that's my hard out.
On part, it gets overshadowed hard by Sex Pistols and Aerosmith. Its Requiem form is actually ugly, but seeing a stand take charge and beat the enemy on its own more than made up for it. That said, Giorno's power set is easily my favorite among the JoJos. I was a massive fan of Haman, and one of my biggest complaints with this series was how unceremoniously it was abandoned after Battle Tendency.
Pause. There were no more vampires.
There's no need for it.
There's no need for it. They were made to battle the vampires. Something like that dumb Hamon leaf floaty thing can simply be done with a stand. So you don't really need it. Anything that you could do with Hamon, you could do with a stand.
Throughout part 3, I kept waiting for that scene, where Dio would break out a unit of vampires who were resistant to stand attacks, and Joseph would have to use his Haman again.
How would they be resistant to stand attacks? In what way? You've got bullets, you've got fire, you've got a sword, you got a punchy man. You've got vines. How can you be resistant to a stand? What does that even mean?
Maybe resistant to physical attacks, except they would need only Haman would break through it. Something like that. Because all of their stuff was basically physical pain and physical attacks.
But how would you be resistant to physical attacks?
High regeneration?
And what would Haman do to that?
Destroy the regenerative cells.
Can it?
It could.
I guess. Can it? It could.
Running up walls and generally showing the younger Crusaders how strong he really was. Needless to say, that never happened. And seeing the influence of Haman in Giorno's abilities gave me a satisfaction I had long given up on. Even better, his power...
What influence of Haman? I truly...
Life.
But that's not... No! That's just like an overarching thing of it. Yeah. It's like if Zeppeli could light people on fire with his Haman, and it's just like, I'm glad that Avdol stand gave breath life, and no, it's not the same thing.
Manipulating life and making plants grow, something I can never get enough of, and it was the aspect of Haman which I always thought was most underused in the early parts. And this sense of Giorno somehow fixing my problems with early JoJo became a running theme in my affection for him. I always felt cheated by the end of Phantom Blood. I understand the narrative reasons behind Jonathan's death, but it seemed wrong for such a lovable protagonist to die in the 10th episode.
Why? His journey was essentially complete. It's a tragedy that he died. Is he just supposed to live forever?
I would assume because no other JoJo dies in their part, only him.
Let's see if he explains it.
To see Dio back in part 3, but his interactions with the Crusaders never really mattered.
He did not.
At this point, why are we even expecting?
It's crazy. But again, there's nothing. What's wrong with him dying? Yes, you feel sad, but you're supposed to feel sad.
It's emotionally manipulative in the good way. It's written in the way that it's supposed to be, as opposed to a Naruto Sasuke type situation.
You're meant to feel sad that he dies, and do you? Well, that's really up to you, but...
Yeah, it's like watching a drama and going, I cried, that's not fair that they didn't get the happy ending.
Oh man, they didn't get together. It's like...
Sometimes
they
it don't
always
happen.
work out like that.
Ippo.
Intensity of his grudge with Jonathan. This brutally personal conflict between brothers was just a classic pairing, and it's what made Phantom Blood. And to the extent that Part 1 holds up, it's because of this relationship, with JoJo's success as a series resting squarely on Dio's behavior in the early chapters. By the time of Vento Arreo, it was like the series had forgotten its roots, the last character to have known someone who knew Jonathan had gone senile, and the antagonists were only tangentially connected to Dio.
Pause.
I don't care.
Yeah, we don't need to go back to our roots. We can have just stories.
We can be characters absent of our roots.
Yeah, we don't need to reference the roots in order for them to just be there. We know about Jonathan and the birthmark and all that stuff.
He can't be saying that Geo exemplifies it because he's a mix of because they're all descendants of Jonathan.
They all have Jonathan's righteousness. How about that? So he's not being forgotten. We're always at our roots, but there's the most direct look at is basically Jonathan with Dio right here, and that's what it is.
Dead for years at that point. And while this was also true of Part 4, having two Crusaders in Morio gave us a sense of continuity that a Koichi cameo just can't match, as much as I enjoyed it.
Do you need
continuity between parts?
The continuity is the stands.
That is true. It is an interconnected world. Not all the characters are going to meet each other. Not everybody is going to have the same type of adventure where it's a big, oh, we're coming to help, remember us, remember them type situation.
And you mentioned Koichi. What about Polnareff? He was there too. That's also the connection.
Araki brought Phantom Blood back into relevance, letting the corny, old-fashioned origins of JoJo take center stage in the part least connected to the series as a whole.
No, it didn't let it take center stage. You're born of Dio. Okay, I guess that means he also got part of Jonathan. What is center stage? Because again, they're all descendants of this man.
You are extrapolating the Jonathan part. Nobody talks about Jonathan when they say he's the son of Dio. He goes, he's the son of Dio and he's got Jonathan's body. So I don't understand how you can just be like, yep, he's a mix. How does that mix work? And he did not bring it back into relevance other than just mentioning the motherfucker.
And it finally gave me the closure which I couldn't get from episode 10. Not only does Giorno keep...
He got closure! He sacrificed himself to save the love of his life! That's closure!
And part 6 gives you more closure than part 5 because it's the end of Dio's plan as opposed to Dio's son is just walking around out there. What's the closure to be had here?
Jonathan was always like, Dio is my responsibility. And he took that responsibility. Even though it killed him. What closure do you want? It's over. he did the thing.
Truly a grand opening, grand closing.
What are you talking about?
Are you just like, are y'all open or
no? Can't you see we're closed? I want a double Krabby Patty. Somebody on Twitter, and it gets killed. He was just like, that muff really did just walk in there and go rev up them fryers.
I sure am hungry.
And I'm just like, rev up them fryers. And I'm just going back to Burger King. Like, if somebody rocked up in there like that,
second one. The second you open, someone's just like, rev up them fryers. I'd be heated.
Legacy of his father's alive simply by existing, but he also carries on the conflict between them in that we can see the influence of both fighting in his personality.
This is pure. I'm so tired of this argument. Because again, this would speak to an inheritance of their personality traits in any son of Dio, in any child of Dio. And we get subsequent children, multiple children in the very next part. And there is none of this dichotomy. There is none of this struggle. They're all their own people and characters.
Even separate from each other. Completely. But yet this one has the traits of both of the fathers and nothing of the mother. We also have to remember that. Why? And also, what do you mean he's fighting inside of him? When is he just like, oh, I can't be too brutal, or I have to do what?
This isn't a Yugi situation. It's like, oh, we can't kill Kaiba to
It's
save
go time.
him. We truly cannot do this, Yami. You sure? Are you certain about this?
I'm already doing it. So
the attack has been called.
we can't stop it. It can't be done. I'm sorry. He's gonna die. All right.
But Grandpa will live.
Yeah.
And isn't that the greater good,
Yeah.
Yugi?
We win. We win twice.
What's the problem here?
Look, he's already dead. I've distracted you long enough. He's tumbling to his death.
Yeah, wipe the tears, kid. We're out of here.
Yeah, you ain't like him anyway. Stop pretending.
You look like that's your friend or something.
Yeah.
Didn't he punch you?
Mom sent Grandpa to the hospital. You remember that? He could have killed him then. He intended to.
Remember his prize blue eyes white dragon that he just ripped up? Do you remember that card, Yugi?
Our first duel. Muff cheated. Okay? Come on now.
He's not a good man, Yugi.
he's admitted that he lost. All right? So now...
This is the ploy of the desperate.
It'd be a dishonor to him to not kill him. All right?
To pull him from the land. The man, let's see his resolve, Yugi.
I mean, he's hopped up on there by himself, all right?
Is he truly bout it, Yugi?
Is he about this life, Yugi? We gonna find out.
And I guess that's the struggle of Gio.
Giorno is kind, but kills without hesitation.
He hesitated multiple times at killing, including the dude that was super killing everyone.
He could have killed Bruno, but he didn't. He hesitated because he saw that Bruno was a good person. Did he or did he not? He did, though.
Okay, everything you're saying right now, Jolene does. So what now? Everything he says, let's just see if it applies to Jolene. Cause then what?
Really conscious with a massive personal ambition.
Jolene? Absolutely. She literally, when she was just like, if you keep letting them bully you, it's just gonna keep happening. You gotta stand up for yourself. And the bread parties, which is one of my favorite things in anime. I can't let this get me weak. I don't care. I'll eat it. It's the best.
It's all you need to know about her.
Right there.
The massive personal ambition. His actions are rooted in a deep code of ethics, but always allow for the practical realities.
I'm not seeing a difference so far.
Legitimately.
And brilliantly, this struggle over Giorno's soul finds us
like when Jolene's like, yeah, we'll just punch each other out. None of this stand stuff. We'll lock each other up and we will fight. So good. She the best. So, what is the difference so far? Absent of the dichotomy of the struggle of them.
That's what it is. We can point to the struggle.
We can't.
We are.
We're not.
What do you see here?
Deal with a football.
Oh, is that half of Giorno?
I'd say like 95% of Giorno.
Oh,
yeah. This struggle over Giorno's soul finds a sort of resolution because despite these contradictions, these mismatched traits do gel together into a personality that is not only stable but pretty effective.
Pause. Mismatched traits.
Cruelty and kindness.
But who is he cruel to? People who are evil. People who have done wrong. That's not like Dio at all. The willingness to kill.
Dio do not care.
Because if you look at the willingness to kill, what did Jonathan do to Jack the Ripper? Killed the motherfucker. Not Dire and Straight. Tarkus and Bruford. Killed him. But he didn't kill him because it's just like, I'm gonna kill you. No,
The dichotomy of my soul.
no, you are evil, you are doing wrong, and I will kill you. That's what Giorno's doing. Dia was just like, oh, you're just in my way. You just gotta go. Put on this mask. I want to see what happens. Oh, no, I'm fixing to die.
Giorno has an incredible ability to just get things done.
Jolene. I am yet to find.
Josuke. Can we apply it to Josuke? He's not willing to kill, but he sure will trap him up in a rock for all of eternity.
Yeah, I'd rather die. I'd rather die, honestly.
He sure will do that.
Instead of just being a mother that watches teens make out for the next 3,000 years until I erode.
You're just a landmark. Didn't he turn him up to a book?
Yeah.
Turned them into a book.
Or placed them inside of the book or whatever.
What?
Hey, the righteousness and that whole thing. Yes, you are healed. And now I would never hurt an injured person.
No,
but now you are healed.
So now, I mean, what did he mention that can't be applied to him? Can we go back to Jotaro? Here's your receipt.
Yeah. The kindness and the cruelty.
My goodness.
It's almost like these characters are kind for the most part, but when the situation calls for it, when it calls for them to be cruel, when it calls for them to take action in a way that is not squeaky clean, they will do that action.
And it's absent of their parentage. It's absent of their heritage. It's who this person is.
And if I had to pick one
Go
JoJo,
back. Spread.
It truly is spread, actually.
Oh my goodness.
With lemon lime spread. Yo, fam, go get me one of them spreads. Is Doke okay?
and if I had to pick one JoJo to get me through a bad situation, it would be him, hands down.
I don't care about this love in real life. I do not care if he hopped into our world.
I'd prefer the Time Stopper, but you do you.
With the other candidates being, in order, too nice, a reckless dipshit, terrible at communication.
He's good at communication.
What does it mean to be too nice? If you're trying to get out of a bad
Especially
situation,
since he killed people.
Reckless idiot, what did he do that didn't work?
Communication. A dumb teenager.
Sucks at communication. Okay, you have to be like, you're going, who would I want to get me out of a bad situation? What is the situation? Because there are certain times when being too nice can help you out. When being reckless can help you out. When just taking action can help you out.
When being goofy can help you out.
But he's not just a stupid teenager.
Of course not.
He's so in
When has Giorno persuaded someone through his words? Because it's just like no communication. Bruno.
That was more through his actions, though. Because he was just like, I could have beat you up, but I saw that you're a good person. He couldn't convince Licky Eye Luca. He couldn't have convinced Koichi to get into his motherfucking car without scamming him.
So this communication thing means nothing to me.
And too nice again.
You think Jolene is too nice?
That's just false.
What is her niceness?
When is she shown aptitude of being too nice? She helps people when she sees that they're in danger, just like in Giorno. When Hermes was getting beaten up, she was just like, "Oh, I gotta stop this." She literally killed the lawyer that took her and put her in jail. What is this too nice?
He didn't betray me in the end, but he still got hurt.
Yeah, it's like, what he might, though. So let's just teach him a lesson. The girl that she helped when she was just like, you gotta defend yourself. She gave her the means to defend herself. The push that she needed.
The communication?
She wasn't simply like, I'm gonna protect you. She was like, no, you gotta protect yourself.
I'm not gonna be here.
This is just wrong.
I can't remember if it was Hermes or Jolene. It's just like, I'm just gonna beat them all up.
When?
With the trader situation. Which one is,
Oh, no, that was Jolene.
Yeah. I was just gonna beat them all up. I ain't know.
Yeah.
Too nice, though.
That was my plan.
Where is this? Cause she's nice to Imperio?
Giorno has the empathy
No.
to win over a big sweetheart like Bruno, and a reserved charisma which lets him seamlessly slide into the squad.
He has the empathy to win over a nice person. He's nice to a nice person, so that nice person likes him.
That's crazy thought.
Wow.
What a crazy thought. I cannot believe this is a video.
This is nuts. How people perceive characters and events and just have to ignore other stuff in order to be like, yeah, Giorno's all these things. What about the other JoJos that are also
too
all
nice?
those
Jolene,
things?
too nice.
Jolene is too nice. What?
But when facing a man like Chocolata, he can be just as cunning and brutal as Dio ever was. Efficiently.
Pause.
When was Dio ever cunning? He just kind of brute forced his way into things.
I guess you could say at the end of part 3 where it was just like, I made you beat me up so I can fly towards Joseph.
Okay, battle strategy, battle genius. I don't really see that as cunning. Cunning to me sounds like plans, because here Giorno has a plan. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it would be a plan. Same thing. Sure, we'll accept that moment.
But
then you're still ignoring all the other JoJos that are also cunning.
Turned him off to a rock. Stopped his heart.
The Mobius strip.
The strings that he did with the spikes thing to channel the Hamon. Didn't Jonathan use the water to increase his Hamon? I forget what that happened.
Some type of attack.
But come on. Jolene saw that, meteors are coming. They burn up towards when they get to him. But other things don't, so I can put my shoe and it'll hit him. It's cunning. Smart. No, but him. He did the 7-page Muda. Hooray.
That's what we were waiting on.
Moving a threat which was simply too dangerous to fool around with. When Araki wrote...
Pause. Removing a threat that was too dangerous to fool around with. Here is your receipt. Was that not the same thing? Angelo, was that not the same thing?
Phantom Blood, it's like he was asking, how should someone react to unfair circumstances? With the main characters being these two different answers, one embodying unconditional generosity and the other unchecked ambition. Both became...
Pause. I don't think that Jonathan is very generous like that. He said in the beginning, I'm not doing this to help you. I'm doing this because this is how a gentleman would act.
Incredible men in their own way, but neither could solve all their problems or achieve a lasting victory. Dio sacrifices his humanity to kill Jonathan, who sacrifices his life to kill Dio, who survives into the future through his powers but gets killed by Jonathan's descendants, who then fight...
Jonathan's what? Jonathan's whom?
Uh-oh. It's almost like the legacy continues.
Jonathan's descendants, who then fight the scattered remnants of Dio's organization. It's like the original JoJo universe is framed...
Then Then why is it in the first? Why is the part 5 bringing it to the center again?
If it's been Dio this whole time.
Why is that making it relevant again? This video is nuts!
By these parallel legacies, which are destined to clash forever. That is, until we get to Giorno.
But you said that his personalities clashed with each other. Continuing the clash.
Takes the unconditional self-sacrifice of Jonathan and the self-empowerment of Dio and combines them into his own philosophy of dreams.
When is he self-sacrificed?
Oh my goodness.
The most you could say is the hands thing. But he can always be fixed up, absent of the hands thing. Everybody is able to throw themselves into danger and be self-sacrificing when there's a healer right next to you. An amazing healer right next to you.
For all that they accomplished, neither of Giorno's fathers was ever really good at defining a goal. With Dio just instinctively amassing power and Jonathan...
That is a defined goal, though.
Part 6, he also had a goal.
And Jonathan's is to be a gentleman and to stop Dio. Yeah. Both of which he accomplished, arguably.
Trying to stop Dio from instinctively amassing power. Giorno's dream is different. He has a vision of the world as it should be, and he uses that to set his direction.
Pause.
But did he accomplish that goal?
How did he accomplish that goal? Before the series started, what did he do to accomplish that goal? What did he do to move forward towards that goal? Have we seen any time where he's slapping drugs out of people's hands or anything? Or is he just whining about drugs in the community?
But Bruno... I sell drugs in the community.
I declare war on everyone who sells drugs in the community. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. Just that drugs. Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. But yeah, he has a defined goal, but he doesn't work towards it until the very moment of the beginning of the series. What was his goal to become a gang star before he just ran into Bruno? Because he's just doing petty grifts.
He's not even like associated with a family or anything. It seems like he barely even knows the families. It's truly just freelance gangster, which is really just petty criminal.
So he's just going, dang, I really want to improve stuff. And he's doing nothing to improve it. He's doing nothing towards going to a position to improve it. He's just scamming people.
Shut up, commenters.
His end goal is incredibly difficult, but also practical and grounded in reality.
Practical? I'm going to be the head of the family?
of basically the Italy Mafia.
What a practical reality goal!
At the age of 17, with no mafia experience.
I've been a mafioso for 2 weeks.
No power, no influence. But I'ma do it. Me.
Oh, Kane, pull through, buddy.
It is. But like I just said this in the Discord. Pull back.
Field talk time, y'all.
We're about an hour in. Yes, we are. That's about field talk. Pull back the expectations.
He should say it's not Panda if it's not Panda. He should say it's not Cat if it's not Cat.
I think if Panda wanted to do something, she would have.
I don't. Because Keem said it himself. Phil doesn't like money, but his friends and family do.
And what avenue would she have? Now she has a platform.
If this mother was just like, yo, $30K. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll talk about how small his penis is. Sure.
If she confirms the grooming, I don't know how he recovers. He'll probably just say she got paid to lie.
Yeah, she got paid. She's vindictive. Whatever.
He's gonna go victim. What she did to him. She cheated on me or something.
Pull back the expectations. It's gonna be somebody from the Street Fighter days. It's gonna be somebody who,
which is worthless.
Once or twice.
We've heard Jaha talk about him. We've heard Watts talk about. We've heard these people talk about him.
I would like to hear more about what he's like when the camera is off. Because it seems real weird.
There's only really 2 people that can speak. Well, 3 people, but I don't know if one would be willing because one is his dad.
But you've seen him. You saw that story where he's talking about, the fire and the 2 chicks, and they were passed out and stuff. Those people roomed with him, so they know what he's like off camera.
But how can you? Are you gonna be able to find Phil's college roommate? I'm talking about people with super prolonged. Because even a college roommate, you might.
No, I was talking about the people that he was telling the story to.
Oh, those people. Yeah. But those are Street Fighter people. Yeah. But again,
how do you go? How do you reach out to somebody, just some rando? It would have to be somebody big enough that Keem can contact them.
Even then, it may not be enough. Because I've roamed with Katana Prime. I've eaten lunches and dinners with Katana Prime. I've hung out, partied with Katana Prime. But I couldn't tell you much more about him that's not public. Even though we're cool as...
But again... We don't know what's public about Phil. Like I said, what is he like behind the scenes?
Again, the best people for that are Panda and Cat.
Cat is 0%. Shut up.
If she's divorcing him, let's just say she's divorcing him now. Let's just say it. Let's just say she's divorcing him right now. And Keem goes, $50K to you. Spill the beans.
But number 1, she's not. Number 2, how would you contact her?
That is the question.
So, that's... And you know Phil would be all just going nuts over that. Just the whiff of it. It's not happening.
You mean he would be swinging from that? Here's the people I believe Keem is going to get. He's going to get the person that Phil bullied in the Street Fighter community that he recently apologized to.
That is an easy one.
He might get Jenna, Cat's sister.
That is also an easy one because she needs money because she has issues.
Oh, dude. And he's gonna get one of his fans, maybe Only Iced Coffee, maybe Derek, and probably a quote unquote big fish like a Howard. I can see Howard doing because Howard went into his chat just like, yo, this is no. Yeah. So I can see Howard.
I can't see Rambo.
I mean, again, at this point, how do you contact? But then Jaha was like, I could contact them for you. I mean, it depends on if Rambo saw that bush.
I don't think that. I think he's out.
Rambo seems like the type of dude that if he wants to be out, he will be out.
I think that.
I don't think he even has an online presence at this point.
I think he's out. I think that Howard, because of all the stuff that Phil said, he's in.
Phil would double fist.
But John, it was just like, oh, I miss John. Woo, woo, woo. But in Howard, it was just like, no, this cuck he's wrong. What are you doing here?
It's not about you.
It's not about you. I don't care about you.
We are friends. We aren't cool together.
So, yes, I can see him. Phil Talk has ended.
Fulfilling it would put him in a position of power, but it would also improve the lives of everyone around him.
Pause.
Based on what?
That water does not look great.
No, it doesn't. Based on what?
Yeah.
Less drugs or no drugs. So we're still with guns. We're still with all the other crimes that will be committed. Murder, everything. We're still good with all of that. You just can't get high.
You get to the top of the food chain and you've got all these capos under you and you just go, all right, everybody just stop selling drugs. That's affecting your bottom line as well. Don't try to kill me or attack me or anything. This is just a sweeping change now. We're the good mafia. We do insert thing that we do here. And that thing is
assassinations.
Why is he okay with assassinations but not drugs in the community? Kids.
Yeah.
But kids have parents and fathers. So you're taking away parents from children.
Yeah, so
You would think that him
at least it's a quick takeaway as opposed to the slow death.
You would think that him being neglected when he was a child would know the pain of having a parent taken away from him.
How about no?
Is assassinations enough to sustain a
Criminal
Italy-wide
empire.
criminal empire? Is that enough?
I mean, there would still be trafficking.
I was about to say, or is it just simply don't sell drugs to kids? But how do you enforce that?
Yeah. Like let's say as the mafia, you sell the drugs to the adult, and then the adult turns around and resells the drugs to kids. How do you police that?
How? Because you've got like 4 or 5 layers. You've got your direct reports, and then they report to people, and then the line just goes down and down. You don't know where that line could be broken just for the sake of money. Because these people, if you just go no more drugs, they're losing out on a lot of money. If you go no more drugs to kids, they're still losing out on a good amount of money. Their job is made more difficult. It'd be like going and be like, okay, yeah, you can sell weed, but don't sell weed to white people. It'd be like,
why would I do that?
I'm just hurting my bottom line for some arbitrary reason because I don't care. I'm affecting these people's lives, but I can't affect children's lives. I'm ruining this person's life, this adult life, but I can't ruin a child's life. Why do you think that
as a criminal, why should I care? Yeah, I deal drugs. Why would I give
about a kid? I don't care.
If I gave I wouldn't sell it to him.
You see the effects that drugs have when moms become crackheads and they're coming back to you. They're sucking penises behind dumpsters for $5. And you're just like, yeah, I'm cool with this. But that 12-year-old, no.
As it should be.
I don't know which one you mean.
As it should be.
Giving or taking. He's grabbing everyone who will listen and helping them move towards something worthwhile.
Again with this Giorno spurs on the group. Do you understand how disgusting this is? Do you understand that you are literally denigrating all these characters down to you cannot move until Giorno gave you the
until Giorno points. He is the light in your life. He is the one that made you go, oh, dang, there is a better or a different way. By him simply existing and performing an action like Brick Snake, you go, dang, look at that muff.
I love that.
And again, he goes, once he becomes the boss, everybody's lives are made better. In what way? We don't see enough of the poor state of Italy. We see like an old lady going, in my grandson.
We see like a dingy alley.
We see that one kid that Bruno zipped up and he's got shooting marks on his arms. But is that enough to be like, Italy is a cesspool?
And again, you see more of that in Bruno because Bruno sees the arm and he's just like, Giorno just says, nah, drugs.
Wow. I love that, other than Jonathan, Giorno is probably the only JoJo who could actually explain his morality. But
I'm sorry? When did he explain his morality?
He could explain his morality.
What? Based on what? How do you explain your morals?
I want to be a good person because... Wait! My grandfather wanted to protect this town, and so I want to protect this town in his stead.
Oh, yeah. This man saved my life, so I will not allow anybody to talk about the hair that he wore.
I have issues with this person, but they're still my father. So I want to save them.
Even if it means I can't escape from the prison.
I'm a rough dude, but on the inside, I'm a bit of a softie. We see that with the nurse. Didn't want to punch the nurse. His mom doing stupid cigarette tricks. Literally,
Jolene would not allow those kids to die in the airplane thing.
Literally, Jonathan said, I'm not doing this to be a nice person. I'm doing this because it's a gentleman's thing to do. And that shapes all of his actions. What are you talking about?
This is a really bad video.
Joseph's trying to flight of fancy. He's doing what he doing.
Yeah, I could beat you in like the 45 days.
But even if you look at it like, yes, I have this antidote, but I'm not taking it until I avenge Caesar. 440. Oh, you guys better watch out. Oh, just give me a month, 2 weeks. Just gazing their reactions. You 2 months. You guys better watch.
Just
I
give
don't
me
even need 2 months. Give me a month.
Oh, a month, huh?
Big man.
Maybe we kill you 3 weeks.
Explain his morality. But unlike Jonathan, you could never really use Giorno's morals against him.
What?
Where did he I guess he didn't have good people or nice people or innocent people put in danger as like a shield. Maybe he'll explain it. Maybe for the first time in this video, he'll explain something, and this will be the moment.
If you pulled a bystander into a fight, their welfare would absolutely be a goal for Giorno. But he wouldn't let the possibility of collateral damage deter him from fighting in the first place.
Did Jonathan do that? Did he give up because an innocent person was?
I mean, I'm sorry, but is that a negative to value human lives and not just like, I'm gonna win. Hopefully I save you, but I will win.
I mean, Josuke punched through his mom.
Nor could you stop him by taking a human shield. If you did, he would probably find a way around it and save everybody.
He'd probably just figure out how to save everyone anyway.
Yeah, he would. He'd just do it.
Doesn't even matter if you have a shield. He'd just be so awesome. He'd save everyone. No problem.
Yes, he probably would. I don't know. He'd just do it.
As opposed to someone like Josuke, I guess.
I would rather be like, dang.
He didn't save 2 people in his group.
But I would rather be like, dang, I hope they can get out of this instead of just like, no, they ain't out of there. It's no problem. Yeah, no, he's gonna save that hostage.
Possibility of the L.
Yeah, I would much rather be like, I can't wait to see how they're gonna get out of this. Hopefully they can. Not just, no, they're gonna. It's a foregone conclusion. You've already lost.
Now we're just waiting to see how.
Yeah.
But there's always the assumption that while we should always strive for the best possible outcome, at the end of the day, we need to solve the problem and we need to win. Thanks in advance for humoring this, but this actually reminds me of an old story about 2 philosophers who were arguing about human nature.
Are we listening to this bullshit?
Holy crap.
We should just skip forward.
I would like to listen because this might inform his tastes.
One said that humans were naturally good. The other said that humans were malleable and free-flowing, like water. Then the first said, yes, that's true, but pointed out that water doesn't flow anywhere, it always flows down. Giorno doesn't have a list of rules he has to follow, but he has a direction to push towards.
Pause.
Everybody had a direction to push towards.
Who does have a list of rules to follow?
Captain Cold.
In JoJo. One of the JoJos, I mean. Because he is going, unlike others, he doesn't have a list of rules to follow.
Unlike Jotaro, who has a list of rules that he must follow.
So, what are the rules? You can't just introduce rules and be like, he don't follow the rules. He a bad boy.
He ain't got no rules.
He knows how life could be better, he knows how life could be worse. And while the details can get...
So can every JoJo. It'd be better if Dio wasn't here. It'd be worse if I weren't here. And so on and so forth.
Jolene knows how life could be better and how it could be worse. She was chilling, we're living her life, and then she's in one of the worst prisons.
As long as him and his friend are moving towards the dream, everything is as it should be. JoJo's has never been a series to fixate on ideas, but not only did we get a real answer to the moral questions from the story's origins, it came in the form of the creepy, half-vampire monster child who was fathered by both of the original main characters.
What?
And that will never stop being amazing to me.
What? What was the answer? What was the answer to that philosopher's question? The two philosophers conversation.
Maybe we shouldn't have listened to it.
Oh. It's almost like I knew that would be a waste of time.
Nah, it's fine.
An aspect of Giorno which is harder to appreciate is his structural role in the story and questionable status as protagonist.
Bruno's better. But he's integral to basically everyone's fight.
Yes. Definitely integral to everybody's development.
I understand why people struggle with this, but I think it serves a larger purpose which does make it worthwhile. Satisfying character arcs have always been hit or miss in Araki's writing. Dio and Jonathan actually changed quite a bit, but it was almost all front-loaded into the first few chapters.
Did he say character development with this?
I think you said character arcs.
Oh, okay.
And after that, the big emotional moments tend to happen between characters rather than inside them. Joseph's relationships with
What
Ram...
do you mean?
I guess a struggle within them to like whether to save someone or not. This is a lot of words. There's not much more I can say to this than this is a lot of words.
and Caesar far outshine his personal growth. The Crusaders are hardly worth mentioning, although Jotaro and Polnareff do show some changes when they reappear in later parts.
Do characters need to grow?
Do they need to change?
Do they need to change in order to be good characters? In order to be consistent characters? In
I'd
order
say
to be fulfilled
Jolene
characters?
changed. I don't think she's better or worse. I don't think Josuke really changed. I don't think he's better or worse for it. They're good characters.
But Polnareff also just went, I'm gonna do this all by myself. Dang, I literally need
can't.
each other.
As
Joseph changed. He went from a brash, like, loner dude to I'm building a friendship with Caesar and I will avenge him now. I've learned to accept the help of others. That type of thing.
wonderful as the characters in Part 4 are, their charm comes from playing off of each other in interesting ways, not personal growth. The one exception being Koichi, who probably has the best arc in the whole series.
Again,
Okuyasu didn't have personal growth.
you need to establish...
Yukako didn't have personal growth.
They both... Rohan did.
And Kira did.
But what is the value of personal growth in a story like this?
And is it weighed heavier than...
Do characters with personal growth, are they inherently better than those without it?
those whose characterization is external?
I don't think that Jonathan is a worse character because he doesn't have personal growth.
Yeah.
That's just...
He's just not a good character.
I don't think that Johnny
He's not
is
a
better because he does have personal growth.
Yeah. I just don't find him to be a good
Personal
character.
growth doesn't really mean anything to me.
I mean, did Gappy grow? I like Gappy, but did he grow?
He got more resolute, but other than that, not really.
Speaking of which, I think it's significant that the most satisfying progression came from one of the few stand users who had to develop their power. I also doubt it's a coincidence that the part which first introduced stands suffers from some of the most underwritten characters. Yet another unsung benefit of Hamen was that it was essentially a martial art, and it lent itself to training sequences which would display the growth of the protagonists.
But that's growth as far as power.
Yeah.
And not character growth.
Mm-hmm. You just got stronger.
So was he talking about when Koichi, was he talking about his stand growing or him as a person growing? Him as a character growing? Because it sounds like he's either conflating the two or literally just weaving in wherever he needs to.
I suspect that the limited character progression in parts 3 and 4 were the result of the delay between Araki swapping power systems and learning new ways to show personal growth. By the time of Vento Arreo...
Again. What?
Polnareff grew. Personal growth.
He definitely did. But in what ways would part 4 be better if Josuke went through a large amount of personal growth? Outside of just like, no, I'm just a dumb little kid and I gotta protect this town.
Instead, he became more serious, more focused on things, as opposed to having a dice game in the middle of a manhunt.
You can't just be like, personal growth though, and that just be the argument. Because Okuyasu is a really good character. He's dumb. He likes having fun. He likes He likes chilling with his friends. He knows when to get serious. He doesn't like to see weak people get hurt or taken advantage of, like with Koichi. He He wasn't cool with scamming out Shingeki. We know this character. He is an established character, and his actions feed into that character.
What do we know of Geo?
He's righteous.
He has
but
righteousness.
He can be cruel at the same time.
Don't do it. I was trying to have a conversation.
Don't you video essay me.
Araki had totally overcome this, writing so many arcs that even the antagonists get in on it. It seems like every important character has some emotional hang-up that gets some sort of resolution. They don't all learn the right...
What was Fugo's resolution?
Yeah.
What was Abakio's resolution?
And if we're just talking about an emotional moment leading to a resolution, Okuyasu got that with his brother.
Lesson, but each comes to terms with their own weaknesses and makes a choice.
Like Okuyasu?
Like Koichi?
Literally chose to come back to life instead of
the first
sticking
time
with
he
his
doesn't
brother.
follow his brother. All his life he's followed his brother and done what his brother said. Even most of his motivation is about avenging his brother. And then his brother says, "Come with me," and he goes, "No."
And what is Fugo? Is it simply that, no, I'm not going to betray the boss, and then I'm just going to be wandering in an alley?
Purple Haze feedback.
Purple Haze feedback, y'all. Get on in there.
Like, what was Mista's?
What was Mista's?
I don't think he had any personal growth. He definitely had not personal growth. I don't think he had a resolution to his story, really.
He was just kind of there.
Yeah, Bruno got him out of jail, said join. He joined. Grand opening, grand
It wasn't
closing.
like he had really any personal hang-ups or anything, or any place to go to.
And I'd say he's the third most important character in the Joe gang.
It might be the last thing they do, or even come after that. Weirdly enough, the only person without any transformation seems to be the protagonist. But that's not actually true. Like every member of Bruno's squad, Giorno was horribly wronged and lost his sense of place, but unlike the other guys, he actually found an answer. Giorno's encounter with...
They found an answer in the gang. I'm sorry, it also took Giorno for them to pin it in instead of pencil it in.
What was his answer? Because once he saved the gangster, he stopped being bullied by his father and the kids around him and stuff like that. What's the answer when your problems just go away? You performed an action that greatly benefited you for the rest of your life. That wasn't like I found the answer. It was just like, no, he just lied this one time.
mysterious gangster didn't just teach him to trust people. It showed him that life can be better and what type of
Trust what? Why did he need to trust him? All he did was save him, and then the guy did things for him.
person can make that happen. It gave him a hero, which then let him decide what kind of man he wanted to grow into. This all culminated in Giorno crafting his dream, after which he had basically become a mature character. In his heart, Giorno has already become the Don of Passion. It's just a matter of helping everyone else catch up to this reality. Much like...
This is crazy. This double Gawk Vacuum 3000 is crazy.
It's not great.
He's already the Don because he's matured in his heart, because he's found his goal or whatever. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Then where does the drugs come into play? Where does his want of no more drugs come into play? His actual goal to be the Don.
Part 4, the key events of Giorno's life have already happened. And while this doesn't allow him to have an arc of his own, it lets him be a source of support for the characters who are still struggling.
Paul,
The key moments have already passed for them!
that is replace Gio with Josuke. The key moments have already happened.
Him getting sick and being saved by the dude. His grandfather dying.
And now he can just be a pillar for others. How is that any different?
It's kind of like Araki inverts the structure of the traditional hero story, having the main character be a stable, finished product, while the party that forms around him split protagonist duty and have their smaller arcs in parallel.
What was Mista's arc?
What was Mista's arc?
What was Fugo's arc?
What was Fugo's arc? What was Abakio's arc?
It was
just
essentially
kinda like
more trusting of Gio.
of Gio in particular. That was it.
I will grant you Narancia. I will grant you Bruno. And I don't even know if Bruno had an arc or he was just the guy he was always gonna be anyway.
Yeah.
Like, from the moment, from basically episode 2, Bruno is the same character he is by the time of his death. So what is his growth?
We can just say that there's growth and not...
That's not good enough.
It's good enough for...
The Green Saver Save the Green podcast.
It's good enough for over 100,000 views.
What?
117,000 views.
Based on home stuff.
This Gio Auga.
This was truly just a bunch of people going, Gio is so awesome. Can you please tell me why he's so awesome? So then I can regurgitate your point. Because again, we've said it so many times when it comes to these Gio videos. They all read from the same script. There are keynotes, key points in every script that you must, it's like a wrestling promo. These are the points. Mention the pay-per-view, mention your opponent, and then everything else, I don't give a what you say. Mention that he's the son, the true son of Dio and Jonathan, which means the dichotomy of his personality and inherits, and move on.
Giorno has figured out who he is as a person, and his dream becomes this framework that the other characters are pulled into, either directly or through his influence on Bruno, and it adds so much more meaning and emotional weight to the choices each squad member makes that I'm more than happy to sacrifice the personal growth that Giorno would have had.
Mean that his dream pulls the others in? What do you mean? And I hate that we're just like, because Million was just like, I fucking hate you guys. Because
How many of our fans hate us now?
it's like, I'm looking into these, and this dude's not saying anything. This dude said half the things that he couldn't be said, and I'm like, It's always just kind of been there.
It's truly just I used to just listen to these things and go, okay, yeah, shrug shoulders, whatever. And now that I'm paying attention, oh my God, y'all are doing nothing.
It's like listening to music and then we're like, okay, I know the composition of music. So I understand how this is getting put together and I can see what's there and what's not there.
To me, it's like listening to music, but not hearing the lyrics. You just know the melody of the lyrics. So just like, okay, that sounds nice. And then when you hear the lyrics, when you truly pay attention to them, I poo-pooed in her pee-pee. And it's, what? What?
Add in a more conventional story. This is a good point to address one of the big criticisms with Giorno, which I completely disagree with. That Giorno is a Mary Sue. First off, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't see how you can be a brutal anti-hero and a Mary Sue.
Mary Sue has nothing to do with your personality it is, you are really good with basically no understanding of how you got that good.
And you are well liked by everybody around you almost instantaneously. You should have started off by defining Mary Sue.
Maybe he will.
He's already started to debunk it.
Why not just call Griffith a Mary Sue? Because before the eclipse, they're practically the same character.
What would you say if people do?
Yeah, what's your answer now?
Yeah. Okay, sure. He is. He is also a Mary Sue. Now what?
How far into the series is the eclipse? Because I personally don't know.
Let's see.
Because if it's like 50 chapters into it, okay, but now he's not. He started out as a thing that he is no longer.
86.
Out of?
Let's see. Berserk current chapter.
Because when you look at Mary Sue, you look at something like Ray, where she just has force healing for something reason. It's like, well, what are we doing here?
Yeah, where was all your mother up that had it? 372.
So we're a fourth?
And this is specifically the eclipse. There was a lot of stuff that happened to him before the eclipse that made him not a Mary Sue, including a lot of anger and a lot of misguided actions that led to his
disjustice, you might say.
One might say disjust. Only one might say disjustice.
I was literally listening to that today. Disjustice might be one of my favorite moments that we've ever done. Now, you can have an injustice. You can have a disservice.
Sue isn't just an overly perfect character. It's a character who is overly perfect relative to their role in the story.
Can you further define what you mean by that? Because you've twisted the context, not the context, but the definition of what a Mary Sue is. So if that's the case, I need to know the definition that you are giving to these words you just said.
As an example,
Okay, there we go. He's exampling.
Take Kakashi from early Naruto. He can use several types of chakra, is absurd.
He was laid out for 2 weeks in the second arc!
Yeah, he was trapped. And he would have been killed if they didn't do a tricky ninjutsu. He would have been killed. This is a fact.
Man's got pieced up by the first big bad.
This is sub 30 chapters in.
Maybe sub 20 in.
He would have died.
This is goofy.
He is finessing a bunch of baby ninjas.
Again, you versus 3 8-year-olds. You're not going to be, I'm the most perfect character. I'm finessing. You're beating up 8-year-olds.
Because who do we see Kakashi beat, really? A couple of Chunin, and where it's just like, these are the in blood Scythe brothers or whatever they were.
A dude that got pieced up by Sasuke.
Sasuke. A couple of
Sharingan-less Sasuke.
couple of randos in the Chunin exam. He was pissing himself against Oro. He got pieced up by Itachi. What else in part 1? He beat Zabuza the second time after he would have been killed if not for his students. They jumped Zabuza.
Essentially.
So yes,
It was a real Dark Knight Returns situation. Like, I beat you. Kakashi, you really didn't, sir.
pardon me. And also, you had about 10 more seconds of this battle before you would have been laid out due to lack of chakra. You got lucky. Because if Haku just went, yeah, I'm here to kill you all. Then what? Death. So, again, if Haku and Zabuza were serious, death. He would have died. So, Kakashi's list of accomplishments in part 1. Beating a bunch of not even Genin.
Maybe no, they're part of the team, so freshly Guinea.
Catching a cat. Beating the Scythe Chain brothers.
Who a Guinea pieced up.
Almost dying to Zabuza. Beating Zabuza, but being seconds away from dying himself.
Sorry, you forgot the laid up for 2 weeks after
Laid out for 2 weeks. Going back to Zabuza and almost losing again. Pissing himself against Zabuza. Oro. Getting pieced up by Itachi.
Beating a bunch of who gives a Chunin.
Beating a bunch of who gives a people in the Konoha Crush. Tying up Sasuke.
Stopping the Rasengan and Sharingan.
Stopping those two.
Chidori. Finish.
And he went on a mission before going to get Sasuke.
Oh, he found Naruto. Too late.
My goodness. The list of accomplishments. He popped his Sharingan, 3 times in all of Naruto proper? Again, he goes, bring it on, Oro. And Oro's like, you sure about that? And then he got a vision of his head getting taken off and he went, what was I thinking?
I ain't in this round.
No, this ain't what it is. Oh, my bad, all right? If you
Oro,
take a
you need a
step,
child? I got 3 of them.
I can't just let you take them, all right? I'll put up some kind of a fight. But he's going.
As long as you don't cross this line, we good.
Hey, just like hit me in the stomach real hard. Just
No, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You gonna do what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab myself in the arm with a kunai as well. Just like, hey, he got me. All right.
Maybe some poison on there.
Yeah. Oh, he did the snake thing. Yeah, put a couple snakes around. Just to be like, you did some weird snake stuff. You're
Can I
Earl. They'll
summon
believe
snakes?
that.
Can I summon snakes? You know what, Oro? Don't even worry about it.
I got the snakes. Just
I'm gonna figure this out.
take the boy. You got it, homie. All right. Hey, we go. All right.
Dang, is nobody coming?
I was stalling them, but guys just around the corner like, is that Oro? I don't want no part of this.
Koronai just like, nope.
Oh, but I'll put my fist up against Itachi though. But Oro, nah, no thanks. Itachi beat Oro. Oh.
I'm lucky I'm alive.
Can copy any other ninja's abilities because of a genetic trait from a family he doesn't belong to.
You are literally going. Kakashi is really strong, so that's why he's a Mary Sue. Mm-hmm. It seems like you truly do not understand what a Mary Sue is.
He's got sub 5 minutes of this ability.
Which is explained through an absurdly tragic backstory. Guy and all the other team heads aren't that far behind.
Oh yeah, he did this. Kurenai,
yeah.
what were you doing?
It's the worst. He's not attacking with that hand. You're doing less than nothing, Kurenai.
I look so cool.
It's the worst. What, even in Coughing Man with his finger on his head. What are you doing? Guy's just like, I'm gonna grab this motherfucker's neck. Kakashi's like, I'm gonna stop the hand that's about to kill this girl. And he's like, yeah, I got your other arm.
I got a whistle.
I'm saying, here, tink. Yeah. Take that, forehead.
Kurenai, you couldn't even stop his leg to limit his mobility. Other arm. Like he was gonna double slap her.
He just need one arm. What are you doing?
Behind.
Why didn't you put him in a genjutsu?
You are
the genjutsu person of the Leaf Village. I don't think that the Byakugan grants you any genjutsu resistance.
I would assume not.
And the third Hokage has explicitly mastered every single jutsu native to his village.
What does that have to do with Kakashi?
Yeah.
And even so, you are attributing strength to Mary Sue-ness.
Mm-hmm. Not character traits. Not how people perceive the character.
Not inherently super strong.
This is an old man who had all this time to learn those things. How many jutsu does the Leaf have?
A sub 12.
We gotta ask that question. Like,
he can't do the Hyuga stuff because he needs the Byakugan.
No. So you could do the 3 shadow possession things.
Expansion jutsu, maybe?
Expansion, mind transfer. Can't do the bug stuff.
Fireball.
Maybe there's like 8 different fire techniques where you like fire a shuriken or something. Put fire on the shuriken and throw it and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's technically a jutsu.
None of this bothers us because these characters aren't Mary Sue's.
Yes, so they're not Mary Sue.
Why would you bring them up?
No, he's trying to say that it's just like Giorno. Giorno is really strong just like them. So if they're not Mary Sue's, Giorno can't.
That's not the same.
They're adults with life histories and social positions which match their other qualities. If Giorno was a conventional shonen protagonist whose arc deals with growing up and becoming an individual, I would agree that his improbable maturity and drive to succeed would be a problem. But his actual role in the story is more like Gandalf was to the hobbits, or All Might.
While being younger than some of the people that he's around?
While being a more complete character.
Fabio was a cop.
They are not granted the ability to be a complete character. But then this complete character comes up and just goes, not only am I amazing, I'm going to make y'all amazing.
I'm going to complete you. I'm so complete. The radiance of my completeness is going to complete you.
I'm a puzzle piece. I'm a puzzle that's been completed. But I got extra pieces for y'all to be completed.
And they're skeleton pieces, so they can fit into literally any hole. Ladies.
With Class 1A. A somewhat distant figure who has already been through this stuff and should be judged by his...
Been through what stuff? Because his backstory was not any more or less tragic than the next person's. What has he been through?
Why was he allowed to grow from it? But then they're stagnant until Giorno points to him and it's like, grow.
Bruno's like, don't come near my daddy. I'ma kill you. What more maturity could this man possibly need?
Ability to facilitate the growth of others rather than grow himself.
Grow!
And you're at the conclusion of he's already grown, so he doesn't need to grow anymore. We've seen all of it. The growth was back then. Why is he okay to not grow? But it's a problem for somebody like a Josuke.
Yes, Giorno was 15, and I have no way of making that make sense. JoJo ages
But accept it.
Yep.
But it's
Except
good.
my favorite character in fiction. I can't make this make sense, so I'm just going to ignore this.
were always arbitrary, but Vento Arreo is where Araki seems to have done things by setting a random number generator to less than 20 and just spamming the button. Also, Giorno is relatively weak, being the first JoJo to be a below-average member of his team. Yes, Araki...
No, he is not.
He is not. He is amazing.
Yes.
He may not be physically strong, but that means nothing.
But the abilities that he can perform are...
Go ahead, sorry.
It's outrageous. It's out of the scale of anybody else. Abakio has this rewind thing, plane, bullets, poison,
Zipper.
life.
This is where I was, and with the zipper thing, that's where I was going. Is Bruno strong? Is Abakio strong?
Who is the strong person? If you say that he's
Fugo.
average, Fugo is the strong person, but he can't fight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's killing everybody, including potentially himself. Bruno, is he strong? Or does his ability grant him a lot of different things that he can do?
Versatility. And if we're talking versatility,
That's
there
Gio.
are none more versatile than Gio.
Lil Bomber, Aerosmith.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Aerosmith.
Dub boys.
The bullets are fairly weak. They're like, they don't really go through. I think they go through Metallica.
I think they can pierce, but not penetrate, if that makes sense. Like a hard BB gun.
Everybody is min-maxed. Nanacha is not getting into a fist fight, but long range, he's killing motherfuckers. Same thing with Mista. He's not getting into a fist fight, but he can do what he do. Don't say that he's like he's simply not.
Because if, let's just say Gio's average strength, who's above and below average strength in this group? This isn't a very strong, physically strong group to begin with.
But in the positions that they are good.
And Gio is the most good.
Because he's the most versatile, so he can be put into the most situations. Long range, short range, whatever.
Medium range. Put a beetle in this guy's head that eats it.
Poison resistance.
Create plants so we can walk on this, so we can get out of this situation.
Grow body parts.
Who cares if you get shot with your own bullets, Mishta? I'll heal you instantly. You are allowed to win this fight strictly because I'm here, otherwise you are dead. And how many of those things can apply to Gio? Without me, you are simply dead. Brick Snake.
Mm-hmm.
The
King Crimson couldn't have Bruno. Mista with White Album.
We're at 3 already.
B.I.G.
So what are we doing here? To just go, oh, he's not that strong, though.
Member of his team. Yes, Araki did nerf Gold Experience, and Rohan was omnipotent. But the fact remains that Giorno has to borrow the strength of other people in a way that Jotaro and Josuke simply did not. And there's a genuine humility in this, which
What
makes...
do you mean?
Hey, could Mista do this right here without Giorno there?
How many fights did Josuke have by himself? The tower was not by himself.
Not even Rohan was by himself. Neither Rohan fight was by himself.
Aqua Necklace. That was...
The rats.
The rats. Jotaro was there.
Bad Company?
Bad Company. But that wasn't really a fight. That was a run away for a while. Enigma, he had help there. Kira had help.
Oh yeah, up and down the street.
What fight did Josuke do by himself? And if you're looking at 2 fights that he did by himself, the 2 that we're forgetting, Surface or whatever.
What fight did Giorno do by himself? Not even Dio.
Literally, Jonathan had help. Tarkus and Bruford. Dio.
What is he talking about?
Jolene. This is insanity. This is pure laser focus, purely on the crotch, and just going, nothing else exists.
Whip that bad boy out.
Moments much more tolerable. The sun.
Mary Sue moments. There's no such thing as Mary Sue moments. You are a Mary Sue or you are not.
That's why I'm just like, define what you mean by Mary Sue. Because that was the Mary Sue moments.
Breaking behind Giorno as he gave a speech about dreams was pretty heavy-handed, and I understand why this could come across as Araki overselling us on how great his main character is. But this is not Giorno's victory, it's Mista's. Mista is the one who had a person.
Sure, but who defeated the motherfucker? You say that it's his victory, but if Giorno's not there, Mista's dead, and White Album is walking away. Injured, sure, but he's walking away. This is his moral victory. Mm-hmm. But then he just goes, nah, but I'm a come in and take the kill.
Breakthrough and found the resolve it took to exchange 20 bullet wounds
We
for 2
never
inches
left.
of progress. But because Giorno...
The bullet wounds were instantly healed, so he could take those. It's no problem.
Yes.
Don't act like this is some big thing. If I knew I could be healed, I'd jump out of this building. I could do that. If this building was on fire and the only way to get out was to jump through the building, I wouldn't be like, oh, the resolve to jump through the building. I would just do it if I knew I could be healed.
Mm-hmm.
was there, he got to have his faith rewarded and live to enjoy his success.
Thanks to? Because of?
So are you saying that he would have been punished if he just ran away?
And become a part of the dream. This is what I love about Giorno. He's figured out who he is, and while he doesn't grow himself, this lets him support the big transformations of the people around him and bring them into the fight for a better future. Mary Sue's and self-inserts are hated because they are associated with the author projecting an idealized vision of themselves into the story. And
Mary Sue's are not the same thing as self-inserts.
Yeah, not necessarily.
And self-inserts are not the perfectized version of the author or whatever. It could be the worst version, the traits they see in themselves that they hate.
Yeah. It could just be an idealized partner of theirs. Because what if you say, what is there to say about a Mary Sue that's written by a dude that's just like, oh, she's the most vivacious, va-va-voom, that loves nerdy dudes and all this. What do you say about that?
And focusing on self-gratification instead of captivating the audience.
Mary Sue's have nothing to do with self-gratification.
Yes.
I don't know what you are truly conflating two things.
When Araki has Giorno be a bit too perfect, it's not to glorify Giorno. It's to enhance the big moments of the characters around him. And that's a role he serves.
Giorno's perfect, and that's a good thing.
Because it's for other people's sake that he's perfect.
Truly, Jesus.
He's not perfect for himself. No. It's for other people.
For you, my child.
Yeah, it's I'm making all this money for you. But you're spending the money. You're the one
You're benefiting from the money.
Yeah.
No,
us.
we benefit from the money. This is our money.
My tank's on E.
I don't feel it. See, that's my problem. Manage your money better. Our money better.
I'm teaching you how to succeed by succeeding. What?
I am being the catalyst, the hope to which you seek by succeeding, by being the success that I am.
I'm your goal. Strive to my level.
I'm everything you want to be. So be me.
Just do it.
Beautifully. A lot of my affection for Giorno is like this. It's not just who he is, but what he represents.
Fames.
I almost view Giorno as Araki's statement that he had completely mastered JoJo as a series.
He mastered JoJo's because he wrote a perfect character. And not perfect in that he is the perfect character for the story. No, he's just a perfect character.
And this is the one way that a story can be told to make it perfect. This is the perfect story. This is it. No, there's other ways to tell a story that can be just as good.
I hate part 5.
I don't understand this reference to this. After all these videos,
after all these years, we've had to have done double-digit part 5 videos, not even counting anime wins. And we are no closer to getting that truth.
Further, if anything.
When crafting the Part 5 protagonist, Araki looked for inspiration in the franchise's earliest material.
Shut up!
We can't be back to this. Again, this is disproven by the very next part where you see all of Dio's children, and they are not like Giorno, like each other, like a combination of Dio and Jonathan. Can we stop with this? Can we please stop with this?
Poured his heart into at a time when he really didn't have the skills to bring out the story's full potential. But when he put those ideas into practice, not only was Giorno the first JoJo to be drawn entirely in the new phase of Araki's style, but he broke every established convention of the series, being a contested member of the family who was largely pursuing his own goals in isolation from the established Joestar network.
Irrelevant.
His gang affiliation and relationship to Dio only push him further out of the norm.
Irrelevant.
Also, it seems important that Vento Arreo contains all these bold decisions while being set in Italy.
You got 50 seconds to flesh this out, my guy.
Culture which Araki seems to deeply respect as a source of artistic inspiration, though I could be reading too far into that. It's
you've laid a claim and then went, maybe I'm wrong, without establishing why you think you're even right.
Like Giorno's story is the capstone to the long epic which began with Phantom Blood, tying up the emotional loose ends from earlier parts while also letting Araki flex his creative muscles in preparation for the risks he would take in Stone Ocean. Obviously, the story has progressed far past this point, and some would argue I should be saying this about Part 6, but I think the classic era of JoJo really did end with Vento Arreo, with the part, and more specifically the character of Giorno, being a celebration of how much the series had accomplished through that point.
What's the classic era of JoJo? He didn't establish what it was.
Especially since this is, as he did establish, completely disconnected from the rest of the JoJo's parts that came before it. In a way that the others aren't, because it's its own like self-contained story as opposed to the broader Dio type of thing.
Send off for a stage of Araki's career which had been wonderful but also ran its course. And I really could not have asked for anything better.
Oh, sorry. Can I get that last sentence? Just that last sentence.
JoJo really did end with Vento Arreo, with the part, and more specifically the character of Giorno. being a celebration of how much the series had accomplished through that point, and a send-off for a stage of Araki's career, which had been wonderful, but also ran its course.
What stage of his career ran its course?
What was the stage of the career? First off, we need to establish that, and then how it ran its course. And what did he do to end that? Boy, words sure are important.
And hard.
And I really could not have asked for anything better.
Hall of Fame.
Yes. And it's so weird because you look at a title like this and you're like, we have been here before. Mm-hmm. This, and even in the beginning, we're like, oh, we know where this is going.
Mm-hmm. We got bullet points to hit, and we're gonna hit them.
And yet, here we are. How did we get here? You would think it would be the easiest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of copy and paste, because they're copy and pasting the argument, so we just copy and paste the rebuttals. But no, they always find a new way to say it. Same stuff that they're saying, but a new way to say it.
And it's this. I know this is 3 years in the past, but can this argument about Jonathan and Dio die?
I would love
because it's such the linchpin in their entire argument about why Gio is good. Because without that, who is this guy? What is this guy?
It's just that he's righteous and vicious. But who is he vicious to? The people who are evil, like Jonathan. That's exactly what Jonathan.
Like
did.
Name JoJo.
Like name the JoJo. It's
frustrating.
Somebody said that once, and then everybody just went, "Yeah."
There was truly a blog that is lost to time where I swear most content creators have aped from, and.
Cause man, that same tired thing and not thinking about what do you mean by he's vicious and ruthless and stuff like that? Because he did that to somebody who was just like, yeah, I love watching old people suffer, and I'm just completely destroying an entire town, and I'm laughing about it. Yes, he's gonna beat this out of him, don't you think?
That character is going to die. He should die.
Yes.
Because there is, or be placed in a position where he cannot, like, turn into a rock for all eternity. Placed in a position where he can't hurt people anymore. Like, mentally disabled or something. Like, he's a vegetable. Like, he has awareness of his situation, but he can't move, he can't speak, he can't summon his stand, anything.
He's put into the position that he put other people into it.
Cosmic justice. Some form of that. Instead...
But then you look at Jolene, who was just like, this lawyer wronged me, and he just gotta die.
Yeah, he thought
he wronged me personally.
I don't even know if he was a good lawyer to everybody else in the world. But I got...
yeah, so, sorry. You just got to go.
You personally slighted me.
So you got to go. Whereas this is just like, you are killing hundreds of innocent people. So you got to go.
And we are out of here.
We are. That's why we don't do part 5 stuff. Yeah. It's draining.
It's really tiring. It will never be anything but tiring. Don't know what we're doing Saturday because we didn't talk about the live stream when we were talking about when we were doing this week. But we have figure it out. So many options,
and it will be adequate at best, as it always is.
And someone will complain that we picked the wrong video again.
Always. But we just keep on keeping on until the moment that we just stop doing videos. We just have to one day just stop doing video. It's not going to be a big announcement. It's just going to be like, oh, they just stop uploading.
They've been going for 9 months.
like y'all gonna nope. Yeah, it's just not fun anymore. Nah, that's gonna be it. It's just like nope. No big selling. Oh, thank you guys for 5 wonderful. Nope, it's just gonna
retirement video.
Nope, it's just gonna be like, yo, they just stop uploading.
Yeah.
That's a. I'm trying to think. I'm back on with the emotes, so I can make some more of those. I need to make some stickers for
Discord.
Yeah, because I was promised that. But tomorrow I got a concert I want to go to. So
what's the concert?
Icon for Hire.
Ooh,
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I love
it.
it.
I was just because you get that feeling just like, dang, I just want to go to a concert.
Haven't been on a long. Dude, AEW was in Detroit yesterday, and I'm like, I just cannot go. Yeah. It sucks.
And I'm just like, it's one of those things where I want to go. So, and I, just scrolling through Ticketmaster and stuff like that. Like,
what's coming
who's
soon?
Coming? Who's here? Like, Icon for Hire? Where? Up the street? All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's going to be that. So, it's not going to be tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe I can squeeze a little bit in Saturday. Who knows?
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
You going right from work to the...
No, because it starts at 7.
Okay. So we'll have time to talk about what we're doing for Saturday. Or we can just do it in the morning. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, or worst case, just after it as well, because you're probably going to go to like 9:30. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's right up the street, so who cares?
What do we mean right up the street? Like,
it's like a 7-minute Uber.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's right up the street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a wee woo. The video has ended. This is the last video ever. Thank you guys for 3 wonderful years. Hate to break it to you like this, but this is it.
We lied and when we said we wouldn't do this.
No, that's the whole purpose. It's a grand opening with part 5 and a grand closing with part 5.
That should be our last video ever. It should be an Oceana's video and it should be one of his part 5 videos.
And then it's just like, that's it. And nobody ever knew. It's the greatest thing ever. Of just like, oh wait, that was the...
And now no more ever. I wonder what the audience would do without Revisited at this point.
Move on.
But who could replace us at this point?
They do their own.
They could do their own. B-list is going.
But it's hard for people to get people together, and that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
Triton.
Triton's like, I want to do this video Sunday. Nah, I got this, I got this.
Muff been trying to put together because reasons on his own. Still ain't put it out.
Triton.
Kinda hard. I need to get people together. Y'all ain't even functional adults who got jobs and stuff. Y'all in school.
Y'all got way more free time.
So, maybe cool that out.
See, it's really easy on the outside to be looking in and going,
why ain't y'all doing this?
You said you would do the content, and the content isn't here. How hard could it possibly be to do the content?
Look, let me do the content. Oh, wait a second.
It's been weeks.
It's not that.
Can't cut into your Smash, huh? Your late night Smash streams to do it, huh?
Getting into fights with people on Twitter like an adult. How dare you? Be more mature.
Be a Giorno.
Yes.
Let him complete you.
Furious. That's it. It's just like Twitter. Our comments is something different.
Yeah.
At least they got some. They got to come to us.
Yeah.
They have references of these are who these people are, and this is what they're saying. But
they are literally talking about a video that I like, and they are arguing against it. What is their points?
But when they put out, here, it's just a silly thing, and I just go, everybody he knows and loves is dead. Yes, they can come back. But here are instances of him being shocked and saddened about death before. So why is he saddened here and not here? Oh, it's a cartoon! They're shooting lasers! Boy, I oughta.
You're really gonna do the Gavin and go to jail at this point.
Man.
Crimes against humanity.
And see, that's the difference. We're a bit more tempered because we had those bad comments.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just kind of expected.
Yeah, we're used to it.
It's just like, yes, You are a stupid person who has nothing to say.
I could exercise way more patience than I would day one of doing this.
You have nothing to say. Everybody can see that you have nothing to say. You're just floundering about. Are you happy with that? Are you proud of this?
Are you proud of your argument?
Or your argument of I'm just going to ignore 3/4 of your argument to make my point?
Dude, how many times have we gotten things like that? People arguing against us, whether in a live debate or in a comment section, where it's just like, I laid out all of these things. Why are you picking
I choose
this
to focus
singular...
I choose to focus on this one thing.
Catalyst, man. Bleach, dude.
Man, I've been thinking about just baiting people and just having a fully functional, fantastic argument and then just putting one wrong thing in there.
And just seeing what
just to see them latch on to that and just be like, okay, see? You latched on to it and I was
that
just
was
like...
bait.
You latched on when I was just like, Itachi didn't even use his Sharingan against Kakashi. You latched on to that point and ignored everything else.
And that proves everything I need to know about your argumentative
how
style.
that works, didn't it? I just want to do that, just to test the water someday. But you never know who's going to reply back or not.
Yeah.
Because I just had one today where Muff was just like, that's what they did.
Yeah, of course. I picture them that keto dust fingers.
I'm not
furiously typing on the keyboard.
I'm not gonna insult anybody, but he just goes. This whole thing is just like it just stems down from my argument of he is worried about when people are getting eaten by Boo, but then he's not worried 3 chapters later when Bulma's like, my parents and this entire town is gonna die. That doesn't make any sense. And he just goes, because some death doesn't need him to be serious all the time.
Okay.
A great amount of people
When
dying.
do we choose that?
When?
When do we choose when he's allowed to be serious and not serious?
Because he's the avatar for how the audience should feel. But a great amount of people dying equals serious. Defenseless people dying equals serious. As easy as that. Goku will never be serious all the time. Only when he needs to be.
He was serious when he thought Gohan died.
Yes. And I brought that up so many times. And then I brought up defenseless people defenseless people die and he's serious. 3 chapters later, defenseless people are about to die. He's not serious. What's the difference? And he goes, read that again. What's the difference between Bulma's parents dying and a bunch of people dying? I'll tell you.
He said a town. She said a town.
I'll tell you. It's the amount. Depending on the people that need to come back, it will take too much wishes. That means some will come back and some will not.
Based on what?
And I just go, so the scenes where he's talking about Boo killing people is in chapter 470. There's no mention of the Dragon Balls to Goku, so he was worried about the people, not the wishes. In chapter 470, Bulma is worried about her parents and the others in town. Goku is then reminded about the limitations of the Dragon Ball. Both instances have a lot of people dying. Goku was reminded about the limitations 3 chapters after Boo ate those people, so he couldn't have been thinking about the Dragon Balls. He was worried about the people. A lot of people die, he is worried. A lot of people might die, he's okay. What can you say about that?
Did he say anything?
No.
Okay.
That was 13 hours ago.
Yeah.
I've been muted or blocked or something. It's over.
Yeah.
Because these muffs are languishing in their stupidity and their pig-headedness and just
can't
going,
be challenged with this.
He can be serious whenever he wants to be serious. But it's inconsistent. You must realize that, right? There's no consistency of when he's serious and when he's not.
Blocked,
Muted. I like Dragon Ball. This is a silly, dumb show. They're saying wee woo to me.
D-woo, if you will. Yeah, I guess that's the out.
Yeah, no, that's it. I knew what I was doing.
Oh yeah, we will.
Oh yeah, we will. This is the final wee woo. The final wee woo, if you catch my drift.